Hi everyone, so I'm coming back for my final video, and what we discussed in order to catch everyone up, what we discussed in our first video was COVID-19 and coronavirus. Corona actually means crown, and we also discussed that COVID-19 means angel of the bottomless pit, sheep slaughter. So also corona, the acronym for corona means um, certificate of vaccination ID, certificate of vaccination identification. So if you do not receive this certificate of vaccination identification, then you will not be able to buy, you will not be able to sell, travel, um, go in any public setting. You will basically be ostracized from the public. So that was one thing that we discussed, and we discussed corona being called a crown. That is the root word for corona. And the Lord is basically telling us that if you receive this crown, that you will not receive the crown of life that He promised us in Revelation 3. So let's go ahead, and I'm going to go into this is what this entire agenda was about. The first video, as I said, was on corona COVID-19. The second video was on stop looking at things from a carnal mindset. Stop looking at things from your natural eyes and looking at things as black or white, but look at this as a spiritual battle. Our life here is a spiritual test. And also, the following video was about who these people are. So we discussed these people are actually not people. They are actual literal seeds of the serpent that have mingled in with the Jewish bloodline. And that's why in Revelation, I'm sorry, that's why in Genesis 49, as Jacob was blessing the 12 tribes of Judah, he called Dan a snake in the road, and then Dan was replaced with Manasseh in Revelation when the seals were being given out to the 12 tribes, to the 144,000. There was no Dan in the book of Revelations, because Jesus said in Matthew 24 that Dan would that those Pharisees would not escape hell. So we're going to go further today and just discuss, okay, who is the Antichrist? And I've been reluctant to discuss who this person is because he is loved throughout so many people. And every time I have spoken against him or said something, I literally get, people want to fight me. So I just don't, or had not said anything. But the times that we are coming on, I have to speak, because the Bible tells us that the Antichrist will reign for a period of time. He will leave for a short amount of time, and then he will return. And when he returns, he's coming back to conquer, conquering and to conquer. Revelation 6:2 says conquering and to conquer. So he's on his way back. There's literally nothing else that has to happen except he reveal himself at this time, because everything is already in motion. So I'm going to, at this time, go ahead and share my screen so we can move forward, and you will see who I believe the Antichrist is. All right. So we know that Jesus came in on a donkey, and the people said what we call on Palm Sunday, when people had the palms saying Hosanna, Hosanna. So this person also came in riding a donkey. Here he is on a physical donkey, and then here he is on a different type of donkey, actually on the democratic donkey. So what the enemy does is he has to be chosen. He cannot force us to accept him. So he manipulates, and he comes in through a deceptive way. But he is the Antichrist. There are a lot of Antichrists. Anything that's opposite of God is a Antichrist. But he is actually the Antichrist, the son of perdition, the Satan in the flesh, Satan in a human body is who this person is. So I showed you him on on a donkey, riding a donkey, mimicking Jesus. And here he is coming in through the actual Democratic Party. So, like I said, the enemy has to reveal himself, but he does it in subtle ways. Um, and he is the deceiver of the world, deceiver of the whole world. So let's go here. Let's go to this is the stadium, the Mile High Stadium, the Denver Broncos Stadium, where Obama had gave his speech when he was nominated, when he was nominated for the Democratic Party, and he actually gave his speech here at the Mile High Stadium. So we know that the Revelation says that the Antichrist will come in on a white horse, conquering and to conquer, and he will be given a sword. He will be given a bow and a crown. So I'm going to go to a new share and show you. I'm going to show you.
A star lineup that included Al Gore and Stevie Wonder pumped up the packed stadium, eager to witness history.
America has finally gotten rid of the racism, hopefully. And now we're able to put an African American as leader of our country. This is what America is all about.
The optimism was tangible as political rhetoric gave birth to inspiration, like it did for this woman who drove 1,800 miles from Bayonne, New Jersey.
It feels wonderful. Yes, because we know that this is history being made.
Push an acceleration we haven't had for so long. I mean, your heart is just beating all the time. Just after.
Okay, so that's enough at this time, but I just wanted to show you this. He actually 85,000 people came out to this inauguration. At the Denver Stadium, and he actually 36 million people worldwide watched in awe as they worshiped this person. So let me go here and share. I'm gonna go back and share that document. So here we're gonna go down to our next share, which is here. Remember, Revelation 6 said he will be given a crown and a bow. So this is a picture that was released from the White House of President Obama sitting in a king's chair from the Game of Thrones, holding a crown in his lap and a bow. And he said this was just released because, he loves Game of Thrones and Game of Thrones was his favorite show. But no, he's suddenly showing, in a subtle way, he is showing you who he is by releasing this image with the crown and the bow. So let's go further. This is what is known as the seat of Satan or the seat of Zeus. So actually you have all the stairs here, and then you have the altar back here, and you see all the columns. So, and then you see the horse over here, and you see the serpents and all the different symbolism. But this is the seat of Zeus or the seed of Satan. And let's go to back to a picture of the Democratic nomination convention at the here at the Mile High Stadium, and look how he had the stairs here built, and he had an exact replica of the altar of Satan, exact replica, but then he just put the American flags here. So once again, he was showing you who he is. This is what so as long as he shows you, if you don't, he has legal rights. He showed you, but you didn't pick up on it. But he can't say he didn't show you. He cannot not show you. So let's go further. All right. So we're going to talk about the coming of the Mahdi. The coming of the Mahdi is basically in Islam. They feel like the coming of their leader, one of the signs that they look for with the coming of their leader is the sun rising where it sets. So we know that the sun rises in the east and sets in the west. But the sun rising where it sets is basically the sun rising over the west. So we look at this Obama symbol from when he ran for the United States. We see that it's the sun rising over the United States of America flag. We know that the United States of America is called the West. North and South America are the West, and Britain and Asia and Africa are the East. So this is a picture of the sun rising over the West. Once again, he is showing you who he is. And also, he says that he's a Christian, but let's see here.
To help guide our public policy.
Which passages of Scripture should guide our public policy? Should we go with Leviticus, which suggests slavery is okay? Or we could go with Deuteronomy, which suggests stoning your child if he strays from the faith? Or should we just stick to the Sermon on the Mount, a passage that is so radical that it's doubtful that our own Defense Department would survive its application?
All right, so this is just to show you here where, he says that he's a Christian, but that, I wanted to show you that in addition to, I had one more. I don't know what I did with it. Oh, let's play this one.
We are no longer a Christian nation. We do not consider ourselves a Christian nation. The United States has been enriched by Muslim Americans. Since our founding, American Muslims have enriched the United States. Islam has always been a part of America's story. There is a mosque in every state in our union, and over 1,200 mosques within our borders.
All right. So that's another video just showing where he says he's a Christian, but then he was actually pushing Islam. And so he is the actual Mahdi, that the Islamic leader that they are waiting for. Let me go back to sharing my screen. Okay, so we're going to discuss Daniel 7 and Revelation 13 very quickly. So Revelation 13 basically says, and I stood up on the sand of the sea. I saw a beast rise out of the sea, having 7 heads and 10 horns. Upon his horns, 10 crowns, and upon his heads, the name of blasphemy. So I just showed you all him speaking blasphemy against the Bible. And the beast which I saw was like a leopard. His feet were the feet of a bear. His mouth was the mouth of a lion, and the dragon gave him his power and his seat and great authority. And I saw one of his heads as if it was wounded to death, and his deadly wound was healed, and all the world wondered after the beast. So he's described here as a beast. Let me go quickly into what these 10 horns are. The 10 horns are 10 kings. So but this 10th horn in Daniel, it tells us that the 10th horn was different from all the other horns. Why was it different? Because the other leaders before this horn were Caucasian. This leader was black. The other ones were Christian. This one was a Muslim. The other ones were human. And this one was a literal, the devil in the flesh. So we know that, okay, it says that the beast which they saw was like a leopard. The leopard, why was it called a leopard? Because we know that all the heads on the beast were heads of different kingdoms. The lion was Britain, the feet and the head of the bear were Russia. It had two sets of wings on its back. We know that is the U.S. And also the second set of eagle's wings on the back were Germany, because Germany's national symbol is an eagle as well. So this is just showing where all the kingdoms were given their power over to the beast. But the body of the beast was a leopard. Why was it described as a leopard? Because no other nation has the leopard for its national symbol. The leopard is because he is mixed. He is white and black. He was not one color. So his physical body was actually described as a leopard. But then when we go down further, it says that I saw one of the heads and it was wounded to death. And his deadly wound was healed, and all of the world wondered after the beast. So let's go down even further. And let's look at, the Holy Spirit just gave me this, because this is not even one that I was going to put in here, but as I was writing, and it just dropped in my spirit about the deadly wound, and I remember he had a scar on his head. So I Googled that image, and sure enough, here it is. So remember when the Lord came and the Lord defeated the enemy on the cross, Genesis 3, God told him the seed of the woman will crush or bruise your head, will crush your head, but you will bruise his heel. So when Christ came, Christ crushed his head. Christ exposed who he was, and then he shed his blood on the cross, which crushed the head of the enemy. And so, but we know that he is described as having a deadly wound that was healed. So even in Bible college, they told us that this was the actual kingdom that probably lost its power and then started to build it back up. But no, he has a wound on his head that he has never explained where it came from. If you look at his neck here, this bruise goes up all the way to the middle of his head. It starts at his neck, it goes up to the middle of his head. And I found the image of the other part of his head. So the wound goes actually across the middle of his head and down. So he had a head wound that has been healed. And I just happened to find, Google it and find these images saying that did he have some type of a head surgery? So people were wondering what were these scars on his head. Daniel 7:25 says that he will come changing laws and times and speak blasphemy against the Most High. And I just showed you an image of him speaking blasphemy against the Most High. So here's an image of him changing laws and times. What is one of the most important things that God created? He created marriage between a man and a woman. And God performed the first marriage ceremony when he married Adam and Eve in the garden and told them to be fruitful and multiply. So he changed, not a man-made law, but he changed a law that God himself created. So here, and also with him mandating Obamacare on Americans, people were, oh yeah, he's the first president that cared about everyone getting health insurance. Well, did you know that Obamacare had verbiage in there about your Second Amendment rights? And also the RFID chip was in Obamacare as well. All right, so let's move down to numerology here. Because the Bible tells us that his name and the number of his name is 666. So we look at numerology here and we add up Barack Hussein Obama. We see that Barack is 225, Hussein is 261, Obama is 180, which equals 666. His birthday is August 4th, 1961. August 4th is the 216th day of the year. 666, or 6 times 6 times 6 equals 216. 6 times 6 is 36. 36 times 6 is 216. We know that this person had to have Syrian roots. In addition to, they had to be a part of the Jewish bloodline from the tribe of Dan. He meets both of those as well. He has Jewish bloodline from the tribe of Dan. He chose to do one of his speeches from the Millennium Park in Chicago. And what's very interesting about that is the Millennium Park actually it's a serpent hatching out of an egg. So here is the egg in the middle of Millennium Park, where he selected to have a speech. And then here's an overview of the park. So you see the egg here, and the snake has hatched out of the egg, and the snake is sliding across the street, but they've actually made the bridge into a serpent. And this is where he chose, because he subtly has to show you who he is without actually telling you who he is. And the world loves him. The world loves him. I'm going to stop my share right now while I attempt to look for another document that I actually pulled up. Let's see if I can find it here. So I'm just going to try and give you all as much information as I can, but I didn't realize that.
You can perfect. The business of real estate is changing rapidly.
Okay. So let me share. Look, I'm not a professional at making these videos. I just want to show you where it tells us here that he's going to be loved throughout the world. So here he is in London, Haiti, USA, Indonesia, Italy, just all over. and power was given to him over all and kindreds and tongues and nations, and all that dwell upon the earth shall worship him. So do we know of any other world leader that has been loved and worshiped like this person? So now I am going to go to my concordance, right? So I looked up lightning because Jesus said in Luke 10 and 18 that he saw Satan fall as lightning from heaven, or lightning from a high place. So that high place or heaven had a dual meaning because for one, it was from heaven, but then two, he did have a high place. He had a high seat in heaven, but he got puffed up and wanted to be worshipped as God, and that's what got him kicked out. So what does high place mean here? Lightning. Let's go back. I went too fast. So lightning here in Hebrew, so I typed in lightning because he said he saw him fall from lightning from heaven or high place. Lightning, search, lightning, which is 1299, means Barak. Barak. So let me make this larger so you can see it. Okay. So we have Barak with a Q, or Barak with a K. Primitive root to lighten or lightning. All right. So, and then also the Hebrew 1300 Barak, it also means lightning, bright glitter, lightning. So Jesus saw him cast out of heaven as lightning. Okay, so lightning from heaven or high place. So I'm going to type high place, search. High place is the Hebrew word 1116, meaning bama, used for the root word meaning to be high, elevation, height, high place. So Jesus saw him as lightning from a high place. That's how he was cast out. So if we're speaking it in English, we say lightning from high place or lightning from heaven. But speaking it in Hebrew, it would say lightning, barak, high place, bama. So, but it wouldn't sound right. So what you have to do is put a conjunction in there. You have to put an and, although, a but, from. You have to put some type of conjunction in there. So let's look at our Hebrew conjunctions. All right. So these are conjunctions, articles, and prepositions in Hebrew. So the conjunction for and is va or val, right? So we're going to go here to, again, Hebrew conjunctions and look up va or val, okay? So this conjunction, which is and, which brings lightning and high place together, is va, or you. It makes the sound u, umbrella, u, So you can speak this conjunction with a v for va, or you can use the u for . So basically, if you put that conjunction in there, Jesus will actually have said, I saw Satan fall from heaven as Barak, or Bama, lightning and high place or heaven. Barak, Bama. So, I mean, I don't know what else we need to prove who this person is. This is only half of everything that I've gathered. this is only half of it. Also, okay, I want to show you that everything about this person is made up. His name is not even Barack Obama, okay? His name is Barry Soetoro. Michelle Obama's name is not Michelle Obama either. We're not gonna even go there. She is not even Michelle Obama. The enemy knows we love idols. So, but let's look here quickly. This is his birth certificate that was released. Remember, his whole first term, he did not have a birth certificate. When it was time for him to run again, they were still bringing up the birth certificate issue, and then all of a sudden he released the birth certificate. Come to find out, his mother's friend actually was appointed by the governor of Hawaii to be over the vital records. That's when his birth certificate was released. There was a 1-year investigation on this birth certificate, and this is what transpired.
Office has reached a conclusion utilizing forensic techniques both old and new. It is the opinion of the Maricopa County Sheriff's Office that the birth certificate on your right, belonging to Johanna Ani, was in fact used as a source document in the digital creation of Barack Obama's long-form birth certificate. 9 points of forgery in which words, letters, and hand-placed date stamps have been digitally copied from the Ani long-form birth certificate and pasted onto Obama's long-form birth certificate.
Okay, so that's enough to just show you, the birth certificate was fake. He was not even an American citizen. He was born in Kenya. He was not born in U.S. soil, so he shouldn't have been president because he was not born in U.S. soil. He was born in Kenya soil. He was actually raised in Kenya from his early childhood, and then he spent time in Indonesia. He spent several years in Indonesia. He actually went to college as a foreign exchange student from Indonesia, and the school that he went to in Kenya happened to burn to the ground. And the same day that school burnt to the ground, the 2 women that could attest that he attended that school died in a mysterious car accident that the same day that the school happened to burn down. So everything about this person is sketchy and fabricated. It's made up. And I just wanted to show you, like, he is on the way back. Power is being given to him as we speak. While we're in the house with this coronavirus, world leaders are actually giving their power over to him, and he is coming back, like Revelation 6 said, conquering and to conquer. He is coming with an iron fist this time. He's going to come in as if he has all the answers to gain the public's trust, and they're going to believe whatever he says, and then he is going to start, slaughtering people and just ruling with the iron fist. So that's all I had to say. That's what this whole COVID-19 coronavirus thing is from. It's to mandate us to accept this certificate of identification, mark of the beast. And if we do not, then that God help us. And so what I said, when I keep saying prepare, what I mean by prepare is if you get your mind right now. A lot of times when you're presented with a situation, you either respond or you react. When you're prepared for it, you're more likely to respond versus reacting and doing something fast, or just because you're fearful, just go ahead and mark me or whatnot. So that's all I had to say. I love you all. Be safe. Seek God. Get your hearts right. Talk to your family and friends, and pray. That's all we can do at this point. Okay. Have a good day.